Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today, my team members and I will present a study that we have reviewed on a newspaper that we have chosen to use as a research material in addition to meeting the research requirement in industrial relation assessment. So here that you can see, this is the newspaper review that we choose. It say that the MTUC proposed that the government allow all manufacturing industries to operate during the CPP. This is the newspaper review that we already choose. Okay, so this is for introduction. Before that, we must know about the MTUC. What is MTUC? So, MTUC is Malaysian Trade Union Congress. It's a federation of trade unions and registered under the Societies Act 1955. It is the oldest national centre representing the Malaysian workers. The union affiliated to MTUC represent all major industry and sector with approximately 500,000 members. So, the function and objective is first to do everything to promote the interests of its affiliate organization, to improve the economic and social condition of workers and render them assistance. Second is to ensure that policies are developed and action taken to ensure full employment, to work towards the establishment of a minimum wage and legal maximum working week of 44 hours, and to establish training centers and extension of training facilities for workers. The third is provision for legislated social security measures to provide protection against sickness, unemployment, old age, injury, invalidity, and retirement benefits, and promotion of high standard of health, hygiene, and welfare in all places of employment, and seek adequate compensation for workers disabled by accident and disease. So this all about a function of MTUC.
Thanks to our first presenter, Muhammad Faiz. My name is Nurul Natasha binti Marcos. We'll continue the next part. Moving on to the second part, which is identify the issue. First, define the concept or subject matter related to the content. This article falls under the area of roles or function of government in industrial relations system in Malaysia. The three major roles are administrator, legislator, and participant. While the subject matter in this article is about the Malaysian Trade Union Congress, who voice out their wants about letting the workers of manufacturing industry to be operated during this MCO. MTUC is a federation of TU and registered under the Societies Act 1955. This is also the unions related to MTUC represent all major industries and sectors with roughly 500,000 members. MTUC has an objective which is providing advisory service to its member, present the labor viewpoint to the government, presenting workers' view on the national issues like development and education, help to organize workers who do not belong to a union, represent Malaysian labor movement at forum abroad, provide TU education, and carry out research on matters of TU interest. According to the president of MTUC, Abdul Halim Mansur, he wants government to consider letting the manufacturing industry to be operated but with the terms and guidelines that have been enforced due to the COVID-19 situation. He afraid that the workers will be dismissed due to the outbreak since they want to reduce the payment of workers. He also mentioned that he wants the workers' welfare to be considered and trying to refer this problem to the Minister of HR to take a look at the economy between workers, welfare, and government itself. Next is the problem or issue that highlighted in the article. First, a raised issue about MTUC want the manufacturing factory to be operated. Due to the COVID-19 outbreak, President of MTUC want government to consider manufacturing factory as a company that allowed to be operated during this MCO. Second, MTUC afraid that the workers will be dismissed that they want to reduce to the cause of losses. The third one, MTUC want the workers' welfare to be taken care of. The parties involved in the issue is government, since our Prime Minister has announced which sector or industry are allowed to be operate in this pandemic situation of COVID-19. They need to reschedule or recreate back the decision if they want to consider the manufacturing factory to be operated too. Next is MTUC. According to their objective, they can present the labor viewpoint to the government and also presenting workers' view on national issue. The third one is Minister of Human Resource. Based on the article, HR need to take care of few aspects which include the workers, which is to uphold social justice and ensure harmonious industrial relations through solving industrial dispute between employers and employee and awarding collective agreement. And the last one is workers. These workers who under MTUC will have their support also through the Minister of HR.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Amiza binti Abdulaziz and I will continue the presentation about the related concept between the article and the chapter in Malaysian industrial relations. According to the article, it is related to the concept of trade unions that show us an organization made up of members which are membership in the organization and its membership must made up mainly of workers. One of a trade union's main aim is to protect and advance the interests of its members in the workplace. Most of the trade unions are independent of any employer. In addition, the trade unions try to develop close working relationship with employers. Sometimes it can be take the form of a partnership agreement between the employer and the trade union which identify their common interests and objectives. The related concept is the Malaysian Trade Unions Congress, which is MTUC, is one of the leading organizations in the country. Although sometimes controversial role in the industrial relations system. Unfortunately, many people tend to get confused over the role of the MTUC. For example, a senior member of the government in the past was quoted as saying it is not proper for the MTUC to include any form or politics in the movement. This is contrary to its objective as a trade union. The MTUC is not a trade union, but a society registered with the Registrar of Societies. Concept involved. Due to the spread of infectious disease in the country, all employment sectors should be postponed and not operating as usual. The relationship between the MTUC concept and the article, the role and function of government relation in Malaysia, is how the government address the problem of unemployment and how it is done to ensure the welfare of workers. If we refer to the article, the MTUC has agreed to the government to allow all manufacturing industry to operate during the MCO. The related concept with the issue highlight is the MTUC concern that the large manufacturing industry may take action to reduce its workforce by terminating the service 50% of its employees because it does not want to incur high costs. The president of the MTUC said that as an agency representing Malaysian workers, he argued the government to reconsider its decision by allowing all the industry to operate within the terms and guidelines set out. It shows us that the government have a function to give allowing the industry to operating within the terms and guidelines set out during the MCO.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, I'm Muhammad Shafiq. I will continue this presentation by discussing about suggestions to manage the issue discussed. So the first suggestions to manage the issue is manufacturing factory can operate like usual by following the standard operation procedure (SOP) that have been implemented by government. So this suggestion states that the factory can operate and work but with following the SOP based on what government said. It is important to follow the SOP to avoid any bad consequences later. So by following the SOP that have been given by the government, it can ensure the safeness of the employees. This SOP been implemented to make sure that workers' health always fine and good, and also not affected by the current virus. As an example, this SOP can be made, such as enhance the workers' hygiene, implemented social distancing at the workplace, and no physical contact. So the second suggestions to manage the issue is reducing the workers' salary instead of dismissing the current workers. Reducing the salary of the workers is another alternative to avoid the dismissing of the workers that can lead to affect the workers' welfare and can lead to labor shortage. Lots of workers and employees are not really agree with the decisions on dismissing the workers because it sounds so unfair and can affect the workers' life and financial, also the workers' welfare. So by reducing the salary, organization can afford to pay every workers that work on the organizations. So this method of formula only can manage to happen if both employer and employees agree on this together to make it fully functional. So the next suggestion to manage the issue is to protect the workers' welfare. Protecting the workers' welfare also can be the solution to the problems that happen. The Ministry of Human Resources will be the one who take care of the workers' welfare during the COVID-19 pandemics that happen. While we all are combating COVID-19, the workers' welfare also need to be taken care of so everyone, especially employees and workers, can survive during this pandemic. Protecting the workers' welfare also to avoid any oppression of the workers' welfare. This is because at this time, people with power can easily oppress and take advantage of the workers to get some income. So protecting the workers' welfare can be done by reducing the work hours of the workers and limiting the amount of the workers that works every week.
Okay guys, for conclusion, the first is HR need to take care of a few aspects which include the workers, which is to uphold social justice and ensure harmonious industrial relations through solving industrial disputes between employer and employee and awarding collective agreement. The second is the MTUC is concerned that the large manufacturing industry may take action to reduce its workforce by terminating the service by 50% of its employees because it does not want to incur higher costs. The third and last conclusion is suggestion to manage the issue discussed is manufacturing factory can operate like usual by following the standard operation procedure (SOP) that has been implemented by government, reducing the worker's salary instead of dismissing the current worker and protect the worker welfare.